and it's always so good. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy this. I was about to drop my food, y'all. I said, look, talk about her being ugly, about to drop my food. Shut up over there. So, I'm getting ready to try her potato. What's in here this morning? Just some turkey, egg. You ain't put a tomato in here. Ain't no tomato in my slice. Why didn't you these great? Look, here go your tomatoes right here. That's what I was telling you to use. But look at that. Okay, my OCD jumped to them when I saw those things. I finna say, I heard you say tomato. I was like, well, why not eat on camera? Hey, Chef Tracy, it does look good. It tastes good. Because you know how we are a family. We love onion. We put onion in everything. Y'all, I heard something on the radio last night, and I got to go back and do some research. But one of the things we talk about when we look at our ingredients, we talk about some of the things that are anti-cancer. And I was listening to late night or early morning talk radio, and I could have sworn I heard somebody say something that asparagus is now getting a side eye because asparagus may be pro-cancer, meaning that it might, and this is, like I said, something I heard on the radio, that it might promote cancer to other organs. So we got to look at asparagus and see what's up with that. And I got to go back and try to find that podcast. And I think I was listening to 7:50 a.m. And that's not my normal. That's not my normal station, so I didn't recognize the show. But I just wanted to come on and say good morning and show you guys, yes, when I'm not on camera, I still do some of the same things when I am on camera. I'm standing right here having breakfast. I'm going to drink some. Remember we talked about the lemon infused water, lemon. Can you see that? Every time I try to turn it around to show you this big. And that it's look. That's crazy. No matter how much I turn the jar, this the liquid stays the same. Look at that. That's magic. That's a magic trick. Look, I am turning the jar. I'm trying to show you the basil in there. Come on, look. The liquid is staying in the same spot. This stuff, y'all, I don't know what's going on with our universe. How come I can't show you? Okay, sorry about that. I got a call. How come I can't turn this jar around and show you guys? Look at this. Nisha, look at this. I'm turning the thing, but the liquid is staying in the same place. What do you do? Look, y'all. Look. Okay, look at this lemon right here. Look. I'm turning the jar. Why is that lemon? Why is the liquid not moving? I don't know why somebody keep ringing my phone. Okay, look. I'm turning the jar, but that's a magic trick. I want to turn it around so y'all can see the basil on this side, but look at that. Why they do that? What's going on with our universe? Look, Shannon, there it is. Okay, look, there's the basil. I was trying to show y'all the lemon, ginger, and basil. But as I turn the jar, the liquid stays in the same place. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Remember y'all saw I tweeted last night about somebody losing their wallet, and finally, I'm like, why is my phone ringing over and over? Finally, I'm sorry, guys. Found the wallet last night. And I was trying to get in contact with this guy, so finally that was him. I was like, someone's ringing my phone. Got me back. And this is why I tell you guys, and I know some of y'all get on social media, let's talk about this. This is our topic with Breakfast with DryerBuzz. If you're just coming in, if it's resetting, I'm eating some potato and toast that my daughter made, and I'm actually going to run out of here in about, what, 5 minutes? What time you got to go? Okay, so it's about 10:45. So give us the time to have a little bit of discussion, okay? Hey there, Ashley, Robert, and Shannon, and Sharice, and Lakeisha, and so forth. But one of the reasons is I know some of y'all are still so skeptical about social media, and you just don't want to put anything on there. And sorry about the other sounds that I told her I wasn't going to do no series video, but now here comes the topic. So anyway, I went to go look for this guy on social media, and I found a couple people, but most of the people, and believe it or not, when you have the same name, y'all are pretty much the same type of people. So all the people with his name, all of them had just like these crazy stuff on social media. Nobody had any pictures. You know, you don't have nothing on that. I can't tell you I got your wallet. You know, so stop being so skeptical, because guess what? Even though it's a lot of crazy and social mobbing going on out here in social media, there are some real good, genuine people out here. Dude, I'm trying to get you your wallet. I need you to have a picture online so I can match it up to your driver's license. Not to mention all these credit cards and things you got up in here. And I know, one, it's important to you. I want to get it back to you. And you can't get in touch. Hey, Tanya Parker, you can't contact me. So at least have something on your social media. For those that are coming on social media now, especially those that are creating new Facebook accounts, y'all, there's a section in your Facebook now that allows you to set up your legacy. Meaning that should something happen to you, who do you want to have your password? Who do you want to have access to this content? Because if something does happen to you and you stop posting, Facebook is going to own all of that stuff. So, you know, and I know we trust a lot of this stuff to be out there. And some people are posting like, you know, what if it's not there tomorrow? What if it's not? But what if it is? What if it is there forever? What if your last post was you renting, okay, as we do, you know, and then, because I'm telling you, literally building, and I hate to be morbid, but your obituary on this thing, but your legacy, because using social media, you get let's go into this conversation I like to have, even though we're supposed to be having breakfast and my breakfast is gonna get cold. But let's go into this conversation that I like to have, and what I'm gonna be talking about all year long, getting ready to hit the speaking circuit, talking about is this my 60, my 30, and my 10. What 60% of the people do, what 30% of the people do, and what 10% of the people do. And then we even like to break down the 10% to saying 9% and 1%. So you know what? Going forward, let's just talk about that, because one thing we are all aware of, and that is the 1%. We know the 1%, right? Everybody want to get in the 1%. I just kind of like to roll with the 30%. I really want to get in that 9% and just be totally unbothered by all of this kind of stuff. But let's just talk about those of us that are trying to exist in the 30%. Like, we ain't trying to really roll with the 60% because they're going to be slaves again. Yolanda gonna keep it honest with you, okay? Because they do some crazy stuff. All of those social mobbing and then, you know, trying to... And I'm like, look, y'all, can y'all just wait? I know it like just happened. I know it's all emotional and all that, but you might want to just wait, because you're gonna go over the deep end one time too many. And then this is the part that I love, is when they go over the deep end and they all throwing out all this monolithic stuff, and then you give them some additional facts, or some facts, period. You know, you move them away from the alternative facts, the narratives, the emotions, and all of that, and give them a little bit of the information, and then they go, but still. No, it's not but still. You were part of the mob. Y'all were wrong. We're bringing it, we're dialing it back. Don't get to a point where you go so far overboard you can't dial it back. You just decide, well, I'm just going to go ahead and drown. Because people make that decision every day. People make the decision every day that they're just going to just go ahead and drown for the sake of saving face. Save face, you need to save your ass. I'm just saying, CYA, you need to save your ass. Just... always be at a point where you can dial it back. Now, yeah, some things should draw out all of your emotions. In fact, that's what media is for. MEDIA. The first two, ME, manipulate emotion. Everything that you see and hear. Now, see, I'm from a marketing and advertising generation. My generation was marketed to and advertised to from the minute we were born. That's all we know. We know that everything that we see should be advertised. We know that it is marketing. We know that it is some type of promotion. And we know that it is persuasive. We know that it is supposed to form our opinion, drive our, manipulate our emotion. How do they do that? They disseminate, that's a D, information abstracts. Manipulate emotion, disseminating information abstracts, MEDIA, media. That's what it is. Every single day they have meetings every morning with that. How do we gonna take on the word? Same way they did in, you know, I love Pinky and the Brain. What we're gonna do today, Brain? We're gonna same thing we did yesterday, Pinky. We're gonna take over the world. How do you take over the world? You need to disrupt the broadcast. That's what social media is doing. Y'all trying to see if I did the haircut thing? Yeah, I got the new haircut yesterday. Went to details, got some details. So we have to think about that. That's where everything Everything is right there. So you need to ask yourself, how if something is manipulating your emotions, getting that reaction to it, check your sources. And you know why you need to check your sources? Because you need to go back. You need to know this is a source that I trust. I watch this every day. Well, before you do that, go and make sure that you're in a demographic that the content that they're putting out is there to inform you. So that way you won't find yourself acting overly emotional. You won't find yourself at a point needing to dial it back, right? You won't find yourself going overboard. You won't find yourself drowning with that 60%. Everybody got all emotional about the, what I'm going to call it a sports mom. Can we just call it sports mom? What was that? Signing day mom? However you want to say it, right? Everybody's like, well, you know, it was his day. And she acts like that in front of the camera. Like, so what are we really upset about? Because really, at the end of the day, I have to gauge how you reacted. Because I know soon as I do something, if I ever do something out of pocket, I can just imagine how many of y'all going to be on the news and say, well, you know, she was always saying this and she was always doing that. And she just spoke her mind out freely and stuff like that. People always tell me, you know, how she going to get a job with red hair? Maybe I don't want one. You know, I hear that alarm, my alarm going off right there. So, you know, you just have to always be at a point where you can dial it back. Always be at a point where you can dial it back. And the best example of that is the movie, Will Smith movie. Talk about Will Smith, who's breaking the internet right now with his new IG and his new Instagram account. You can check out my YouTube, check that out. But anyway, in that Independence Day movie, you remember everybody was up on top of the building. They were all excited because, you know, the aliens were coming and all of this stuff, you know. And I kept trying to, even when that movie came out, we kept trying to figure out how, because, you know, the cell phones, all this stuff, all this connectivity we have now, we didn't have. And I was like, how could they let these people know there's something wrong? They don't know, because the only sources we had then were traditional media. It was radio and television. But now it's like the hard part about it, and remember I tell y'all that was an experiment in the 90s, and it actually ended up as a documentary right after 2K when people were talking about Y2K. There was a full-on documentary that really talked about falling off, going overboard in these social mobs, you know, not being able to dial it back. You know, what would you do if you had everything? We had a point now you can have everything. You can have everything you ever wanted. We had a point now where everybody can broadcast. I'm broadcasting right now because I've been broadcasting for 20 years, right? Live streaming and so forth. But now everybody can turn it on. Everybody has an audience. And the experiment that they did in the 90s, when the first generation of live streamers were out there, it showed that, you know, we would have no control over the mob. We would have no, I'm trying to keep the glare off my glasses, that in that essence of everybody having everything that they want and everybody live streaming and access, that we still could not control the mob. Think about it. In all the access you have on your phone, still to this day, people are making the wrong decisions. Still to this day, people are following the peer pressure. Still to this day, people are following the misinformation. When you can just simply, somebody could be telling you something, you're like, I hear you, but hold on. Siri, is this helper lying to me? And Siri be like, the information you're being provided is incorrect. I mean, I don't care if it's gonna hurt your feelings. You talking to me, but I'm like, you know, DryerBuzz just said there was a documentary during the year Y2K about we live in public live stream. You don't believe me? Siri, Alexa, Google, ask somebody. Stop trusting the misinformation and always be at a point. Always be at a point where you can wait. DryerBuzz decided to wait. I'm like, okay, I see the mom. I see the signing day. I see there's a lot of emotion going on there. Wait, let me wait. Let's connect these dots. I hear Florida. I hear somebody talking about Florida. Now, I would be overly concerned about Florida. Now, mind you, we had some relatives that went to school in Florida. They went to Bethune-Cookman. They're doing very, very well. Okay, one's right now in medical school. The other one is a band director. Y'all saw me went out and covered Battle of the Bands for DryerBuzz. Has done it for year after year after year. But then also I hear Florida, and I think about the fact that I just at the Women's March and at several other places. I met a mom. Last name was Davis. Her son was in Florida, and he got shot in the car at the gas station. Okay, they live right here in Douglas. Either Douglas or Cobb. No, Cobb, because she's getting ready to run for political office. She's going to be on the midterm. She's going to be on the midterm ballot. And I remember Florida wasn't too good to her son. Okay, not to mention Trayvon. And in between Trayvon and her son, there was several others. You know, it was like popping off down there in Florida. You know, and I'm like, okay, let me just wait. This mom, she got up. She got up from the table. Let me just wait till we find out, because I can wait. And because I have a model of wait 3 days. Just wait 3. I ain't going to wait 3 days to eat my breakfast. It's going to get cold right here. I'm not going to talk my mouth full like I just did, but this potato is so juicy. I don't understand what makes it so juicy. Okay, so now, what was it yesterday? This is what, second day or the third day from the signing day? Is it second day? We're 2 days away? We're 2 days. We're 2 days away from signing day, and already the story is complete. I ain't gonna say the story has changed, but the facts are coming through. The story is completing itself. The cycle of information is completing itself, because those who follow me know to wait 3 days. We're gonna wait 3 days before we react. Let's wait, because I didn't even know it was signing day. I had no idea what these kids were doing. These are high school kids signing with all this television and all this stuff in front of their face and their family and all this emotion. And first of all, it's sports. You already know if they turned up at the Little League and the high school games, and you already know they're going to be emotional and turned up at this. But I'm like, I'm going to wait 3 days. Okay, the mom got up. She was upset. She walked off. She came back. I'm like, Dad, they get to that point and nobody knows what decision this child is going to make about his I don't know, where the girls at? I was about to say his or her. Where the girls signing day at? Because, y'all love to do stuff just for the boys. Where the girls signing day at? Because don't we have some female teams out there and some scholarships and stuff like that? Do the women not have any? I'm just saying, it just don't be equal. Cassandra Mason, Susanna, Russell, it just don't be equal. So, okay. People saying it's his day, but he still is a child. He still is her child. And she only found out right then, and she got concerns about him staying in Florida. Because I'm sorry, as a mother, I can relate to having your kid in a different environment, because the one you're in might not be the best. And you hoping, you done got him to this point where he about to go off and have the best life ever. And then you like, wait a minute, I done created a universe for you to go off into, and then you going to dial it back like that? And then like, okay, let me just step out, because something to come up out of me, because I'm finna get mama here, bump. I don't give, God, how many of y'all, see, this is where y'all reacted to, because your mama used to be the one, she don't give a who looking in, she finna deal with the situation. And what I always find so funny in watching people and their reactions, I'm like, I know you reacted to that, but I can see that you're reacting to something that doesn't happen to you, because if it hadn't happened to you in some form of fashion, you wouldn't even know how to react to that. So all this stuff that came out yesterday, people were like the shame, the embarrassment, stop worrying about that. Let this mama do it. Let that household do it. And here's my thing is, and I hate to go there like the shots fired and the shade and all of that. It's like, y'all, they were at the table. They were at one of the most important tables. Hey, Dad. They were at one of the most important tables. And it's so funny, because one of the things I said, you know what? You know who wanted this moment? That guy was headed to the barbershop. I said, I guarantee he's going to be a guy at the barbershop. And he's going to relate to his experience, his own experience. And then we not go to the barbershop, and what? There was a dude up in there. He said he remembered his signing day. With him. Am I lying? There was a guy in the barbershop. He said, well, on my signing day, my mother didn't know she did this, that, the other. But in your signing day, which might have been, 20 years ago, they didn't have, everything wasn't live. Everybody wasn't looking in. And, maybe we need to have somebody, me, we live in public. I understand there's cameras everywhere. But, you might not need to get to that time, and your child is going to make that kind of life decision. And I understand he can still change up and all those kind of things, But the reaction, what won't change is how people reacted to the situation, how people reacted to her. When we get to a point where we cannot instantly dial it back, have some empathy, or even just to understand, there were two things. Either you've been in her shoes or you ain't been in her shoes. Okay? But a lot of the vitriol that I heard, I'm like, oh my God. If the people that I know react to the stranger woman like that, how they gonna react? I keep saying that, y'all. If they react to, I was at a barbershop after you, okay. Hey, we missed each other. We over here having breakfast. My breakfast is getting cold. Nisha made some frittata. And then I'm eating with a piece of toast and some frog jelly. Breakfast with DryerBuzz. And I'm drinking a nice potent glass of my lemon basil ginger. I guess they call it a tea, but it's lemonade to me. Okay, this is the third dilution. You know, on the third dilution, we go ahead and make a lemonade and put a little sugar up in there, and it is good, okay? Because once you dilute it a couple of times, it starts to lose the potency, even though, as you can see, look at that. Look at the pulp that's in there. Can you guys see that? It's still very good, and this keeps me off picture after picture after picture of Kool-Aid. So lemon, ginger, and basil infused in water. We dilute it twice, drink just that water. Then once it starts getting, losing a little bit of its potency, we just go ahead and make some lemonade. So I'm just saying this, and what I'm trying to have a discussion. Now, I put a video out there. I'm a documentary watcher. Y'all love these documentaries. And there's a documentary called Echo the Elephant. And Echo the Elephant, first and foremost, is where a woman, okay, one woman literally got, one woman did it and a man did it, and they came back and revisited, got all this money to go out here in this jungle and stuff to these elephants. And she picked one called Echo, and followed Echo, and how all these elephants in the jungle and in this particular herd gave birth and raised Echo, and then how Echo went on to have her own, and so on and so on and so on. There's so many lessons about nature in that, which is why I love elephants. And one of the most particular lessons about we should learn from elephants that we used to do, and that was how we tribe up around an issue, how we tribe up around an individual of our community, right? And so I always fell in love with it. One, because there was another experiment that went on, which is why we're here where we are today. Because don't nobody give a lot of money to somebody to go study animals unless they're going to come back and implement it on humans. And so years ago, decades ago, and I remember seeing it as a child. A lot of stuff I saw in my childhood just stay with me, right? So, because I used to watch a lot of PBS, and, I just wasn't allowed to, that's how you create a news junkie, I guess, the television that I had to watch. So, I remember seeing the experiment started back in the day. It was an older woman, kind of gray-in woman, long hair, long ponytail, and she was always out there with these elephants. And so she was studying this one particular elephant named Echo. And then, of course, over the years, it has evolved, and even now, there's a lot that goes on in society that they learn from these studies, National Geographic type stuff, right? So one part of that was Echo, but there was another experiment where they literally took the juvenile elephants away from their hierarchy, their, I forget what they call it. It's not even a herd, it's something else they call them. And when they did, they took these juveniles away from the packs, the maternal and the paternal, and the leader of the elephant tribes, and they took all these juveniles, they placed them elsewhere in the jungle, where they would have no role models, they would have no molding, no modeling. They would grow up with their own demise, and they were studying them. They're gonna fear to eat. What they're gonna do? Well, what happened was they became juvenile. Start calling them juvenile elephants, because not having to fight through that hierarchy and be raised by these older male elephants and say, listen, this is how the herd works. You're going to grow up a male up in here. You got to come up in the ranks. You got to go through all these different rites of passage, because the animals still keep that stuff going on. Humans don't let it all go to waste, right? And so what they noticed that these herd of juvenile elephants, they were like killing rhinos. You don't kill a rhino. Rhino's a big old joker, right? So, and they was just tearing up the jungle, right? And so what they did was, hey, Elaine, and so what they were trying to figure out, okay, well, now, how do we can't take, now they crazy, they over there tearing up stuff. You can't now take them and put them back in their regular habitat, because they're not going to respect the jungle. Wait a minute, the elephant is killing everybody? How's the elephant killing everything? Elephants don't do that, So So what they did was they went back over to the herd, and they was like, well, we got to put them back. We got to fix this because we don't. You know how these people go around the globe destroying stuff. Okay, so they were like, wait a minute, we don't mess this ecosystem up over here, right? So what they did was they went back over to the original herd, and they picked up a couple of what they call little bull elephants. If you've been following me on social media, you know I'm very passionate about these bull elephants, right? Hey there, I love the elephant rescue. Thank you. You see how the women rock, okay? One elephant female put out that call, and they were like, hey, our sister's in trouble. Let's go help our sister. And we did not do that yesterday, the day before, whatever, with the sports mom. Okay, so anyway, so in order to reel in help the juvenile elephants dial it back from destroying the jungle, they went over and they got some of the males out of the original herd. And they... okay, and they brought these males and they dropped them over there. And do you know, and now this was the first study I found when I came on the internet. I can't find it nowhere. You can find it every now and then because they pull it back because they realize, wait a minute, the humans are looking at this. The humans are figuring out this is a solution. And we certainly don't want certain communities to have a solution, right? So they went and got these bull elephants, the older male elephants, and they dropped them off over here where they had the juvenile elephants. And do you know, within 2 weeks, it is documented that in 2 weeks, now mind you, all summer long, these juveniles have been over here tearing up stuff, killing off rhinos, okay, just killing everything in the jungle, destroying the jungle. In 2 weeks, those bull elephants, and seeing it, because they looked up, they're like, whoa, these jokers is twice our size. Okay, and they were like, well, we can't let them come in because we running things over here. We got to fix them, honey. In 2 weeks, they tried to go up against them bull elephants. Them bull elephants whipped them into shape, all of them. In 2 weeks, the killing stopped. In 2 weeks, the hierarchy was restored. In 2 weeks of the juvenile elephants watching the bull elephants in what they do in their roles, 2 weeks, it stopped. They were like, oh, that's my role model. That's my role model. That's what I'm supposed to do with my tusks. That's how I'm supposed to order my steps. That's what my strength comes from. In 2 weeks of watching a role model, in 2 weeks, everything changed. Order was brought to the freaking jungle in 2 weeks, and then they could go back and take them back. And the thing about that, hey, Brandon, and the thing about, and there's a document, a YouTube video on there. If you go out there, and it's called the biggest Big Brother program in the world. It was aired on CBS. Then before it aired on CBS, it had been this amazing two contrasting studies. One with this woman studying the females and the hierarchy of the herd and the tribes and the elephants, and then this other study of watching to see how juveniles, without parenting, without role models, how they would end up destroying the jungle. Now, both of these studies took place long time ago, and then almost immediately, they came in and they implemented those things in our community. They cut out all the resources, shut down all the centers, took away the hierarchy. They broke down the school system into 3 layers. So now you've got elementary, you got elementary, what some of y'all call secondary, middle school, and then high school. We had elementary and high school, and then they brought in this thing called middle school, right? So basically what they did was they broke down the hierarchy. So guess what? You never see a role model. You never see a role model. If you matriculate in your education in the state of Georgia, you never really see a role model because you go from the bottom of the totem pole to the top of the totem pole to the bottom of the totem pole to the top of the totem pole to the bottom of the totem pole to the top of the totem pole. Where are you going to learn the true hierarchy in that? Sound like the Americans are the juvenile elephants. We are coming to knowledge that we ain't as bad as we think. Exactly, because the thing about it is, seeing is believing, and once you see it. But Brandon, what we're talking about is that you have the opportunity now to attach yourself and to watch some of the greatest minds in the world. But if you're still using your cell phone to watch you and your peers, you're not going to get anything new. You're not going to get any new information. If you are, people ask me all the time, well, how much screen time should I have? I said, well, hell, in the state we in, we need to have all the screen time we can, because you should be learning. And if somebody is giving you a bit of information and you feel like, because your intuition be like, you say, hold on a minute, Siri, are they lying to me? Is it true that you can literally go ask Siri, Alexa, and Google? Hey, Google, is it true? Hey, I don't want to say hey, Siri, because she'll cut y'all off. Is it true? That's the thing. Go out there and type in there. Is it true that, right? And don't get caught up in the social model. 60, 30, 9, and 1%, okay? That 9% is so totally unbothered. The top 10%, they're so totally unbothered. The 30% of us are trying to get with them 9, that 9, that 1%, and that we're trying to avoid that 6. Most of us, we spend our day trying to avoid that 60%. But we keep getting caught up with that 60% because we're still acting emotionally. We were talking about the sports mom, the signing day mom. Everybody got like all emotion, like how dare she do that in public? Well, hell, we live in public. But you ignore all that good stuff. There she is at the table with her son. And we didn't want to wait. We didn't want to wait and find out what were her concerns. Especially we as women. When you see a woman have to walk up on her son, it tells me who you are, that you automatically assumes that she as a mom couldn't be making the best decision for her kid. It didn't tell me, I didn't learn nothing about her because I don't know her. I don't know the 18 years she just poured into that young man. The fact that he was there, I wish I knew her. So, I could have some people that were at that table as well, because we was all on social media. She was live on television with her son. And the fact that I could not, and I ain't worried about the 60%, they're like, oh, I can't believe she's doing all this. The fact that I could not immediately get to my 20%, y'all know how I feel about my 20%. We're trying to avoid y'all, okay? The fact that I couldn't get to my 20% fast enough away from the mob so that we can get some more information. I'm getting my wrap-up sign here, so let's just bring it home, okay? Avoid that 60% that immediately their emotions were manipulated. I'm trying to worry about, because Kwame Ture, a.k.a. Stokely Carmichael, said, always have a route to your 20%. And surpass them. And the fact that I couldn't, in my circle, down my timeline, even in the barbershop. Okay, I love my barbershop folks. They got some stuff to think about today, right? I think I left them with a few things to think about. But immediately, because I could not immediately get to my 20%, those of us that say, hey, wait a minute, let's wait. Let's see what this is really about. What's really going on here, right? And then jump out there and talking about the sister and all this kind of stuff. And like, it's his day. That's a child. That was a child sitting there making it. I don't remember. I was a child, right? That was a child sitting there making that decision. And nobody wanted to wait and see what were her immediate concerns. And the fact that women couldn't join her at the womb, as Pearl Cleave loves to tell us, the fact that the majority of women couldn't immediately join her at the womb and see that, wait a minute, what are her concerns? What are her concerns? Can we find out what are her concerns? Nobody wanted to know what her concerns were. They were like, oh, she just embarrassed him. No, she didn't embarrass, she embarrassed you. And that's how you reacted. So I'm like, okay, let me clean up my timeline a little bit, because this one right here done went way overboard, and this done went way over. And we done had instance after instance after instance of this. The Monique situation, Newsweek situation, a couple of other brands and all that kind of stuff. The guy, the little boy in the hoodie, in the monkey hoodie, all of that. We reacted to it too fast, too soon, too mob mentality, and we didn't want to dial it back. Some people drowned in it. But always be able to wait, always be able to dial it back, always be able to look. Concern yourself with enough information. If you can't rally around her the way those women trying to save Ebony, that elephant, go look at that video I just posted, how them women, they didn't come up there and ask their mom, what did you do that they done kidnapped your baby? They didn't ask her. They were like, look, them women, them elephants, they like, look, you gonna give us that baby back. Because, and the lady said, it ain't even about that they wanted the baby. They wanted to hurt that herd. Don't be that female out there trying to hurt the herd over there, y'all. That lady, she put that call out. These women up here taking my baby. Them elephants come out of nowhere, lined up, y'all. They lined up side by side, and they went at it and got that baby back. When you watch that, when you put out the call, who's going to come and stand and do battle with you? Who's going to come and stand and do battle with you? Who's going to wait for you to give enough information? And that was my concern. People are reacting and don't have all the information. You got to be patient. You got to wait. Some things, yeah, we can jump right on in there. Like, you know, going to see this movie. I'm like, wait a minute, we got to have a revolution to go to the movie. I got to go put on the armor of God to go see a movie. I don't even believe that. And I understand, because the weapons are formed against us. You know, we gotta go do all this. You know, we gotta go see another black movie, or else they'll never make another one and all this kind of stuff. You know, I'm like, you know, I hate that we keep being put in this position, but you know, it is what it is. Because we keep allowing that 60% to lead us. There was a time when we would look the other way, like what the 20% thinking? What the 10? Has anybody talked to the 1%? You know, because you know they seem to be kind of unbothered by this. How do we get to that point? And me coming out of being a community activist and then a blogger, author, advocate, I'm not going to say let's just be unbothered, but I'm just going to say, first of all, let's wait for the actual and factual information. Let's get back to a point as women that we can be concerned about. I don't care that she was in public. I don't care. No, she should have waited. No, she should have waited, because we should have waited and wonder, like, what was her, why was she so concerned? Because we don't know what decision we made. We don't know what he walked into. We don't know why he wants to stay there. We don't know why. We didn't know. We know kind of a little bit more now. Why she wanted him out of the state of Florida. I mean, hell, it ain't been that nice to us. And if something happened to you in the state of Florida, you better know they don't know how to prosecute or defend. They don't know how to. They know how to prosecute black life. Florida does not know how to defend black life. Okay. So, yeah, I would kind of want my child to go get his education outside the state. Now, I don't know how much better Alabama is, but, I mean, they all up in black history. Like, you know, they did have some change, okay? You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I mean, just the gist of it. Again, it's still too soon. We don't know. We fully don't know. And the fact for you to say to me you were embarrassed, well, hell, I can't do nothing with that, because black folk been dealing with embarrassment and shame far too long. But let me tell you something. To this day, everything that we have been ashamed of is now reasons that other people are famous for. They'll take everything that we are ashamed of and they'll go and make it famous, okay? Anyway, my food, this has been Breakfast with DryerBuzz. My food is absolutely cold. It is time for me to wrap it up, and she's giving me the look like we got to run out of this store. I had no idea. We never know what the topic is going to be, but I did share a couple of videos out there. If you want to know what I meant when I talk about Echo, the family of Echo, I saw it a long time ago on Netflix, and there are snippets of it on YouTube. But always be at a point where you can dial it back. No matter what emotion, no matter what your emotions is manipulated over, no matter what kind of reaction, what just happened, always be at a point where you can dial it back, okay? Dial it back. Get all the facts, okay? Not feelings. Get all the facts. And then proceed. And then when you proceed, you don't have to question what decisions are being made, right? All right, guys. Salute to you guys. I hope everybody have a great weekend. Speaking of celebrating son, shout out to my son. Let me do a toast to my son. I am getting ready. I'm going to come back here and take a nap. And then I'm going to hit the road. I'm headed down to what? Warner Robins, to the Air Force Base, where my son, shout out, is Airman of the Year. So I'm going to celebrate that amazing awards. Also, yesterday was my mother's birthday. Shout out to my daughters. We had a wonderful day honoring my mother. And a week ago was my dad's birthday, so it's been, and then tomorrow, my childhood friend, my bestest childhood friend, it's her mother's birthday, and we both lost our moms. We don't say lost. Both our moms transitioned to heaven last year, and they were significantly tied together, and also my cousin. So it was three of us. People always talk about it happens in threes. It was three of us, but we're survivors, and we're continuing on in the love and strength of our mom and so forth. But I'm getting ready to, I'm not going to get sad. I'm getting ready to get excited again because I'm getting ready to go celebrate my son. And he done already told me, he done already gave me instructions. You know, Mom, don't come down here. No loud, no live streaming, no sharing this, that. Well, he going to know I'm going to live stream and share. He ain't even told me not to do that. But shout out, he loves the fact that you guys congratulate him and some of the decisions and choices that he has made. I hope that you guys are making those same great choices. Have a great day. Go and have breakfast. I'm going to have to put mine in the microwave because it done got cold. But thanks to my daughter, Anisha, you want to peek in and say the frittata? Look, she, hello. Now that's a first, all right? Look, it said, do you want to tag Anisha? I'm going to tag you. I ain't going to tag you. I ain't going to put it on your page. It came up and said, do you want to tag Anisha? Then you see how Facebook is. She just leaned in there. And it literally said, do you want to tag Anisha? Then Facebook, y'all. All right, y'all. Bye.